What's going on, everyone? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes, and today's video is actually because of something I saw on Twitter about a Canadian-based crypto exchange called Newton. Newton's come up with some changes, some regulatory changes that I want to share with you guys at how amazingly asinine this actually is. So let's get right into this. Okay, so first of all, here's the app. Pretty popular app. It's not, or platform I should say. It's not one that I personally use, but I know several people who do use this, and this was the easiest way for them to on-ramp into the crypto space. Okay, so Newton, think of it like an exchange. It is an exchange here in Canada. All right, so what is the news? All right, so here we go. We've got, what are these new regulatory changes? August 2022. Okay, this is 2 days ago. Now, this actually came on my radar on Twitter. I can't remember who shared it, but shout out to them if I remember. All right, so basically what it's saying is that it's working with the Canadian Securities Commission or the Ontario Securities Commission. And here's the thing, there are certain the rule changes that apply in different facets in different provinces. So if you are not from Canada, you're in the States, you're in the US somewhere, think of provinces as states if you're not familiar. Okay, so each province will have their own regulation or their own stipulation in here. Okay, but the Ontario Securities Commission is very stringent, by far the most out of all the provinces. Okay, so they work with the Canadian Securities Administrators to come up with some sort of regulation. Okay, so what's changing? Well, one is they're going to have some trading questionnaire. Okay, so we'll need to collect some information. Oh, wait, hold on. First of all, I want to see if they, yeah, so why are these additional measures being put in place? Okay, so before you even know what they are, they're saying that these changes are to protect crypto investors like yourself and to make sure investors are aware of the risk associated with investing in crypto assets. Okay, so I want you guys to remember that part. Okay, so basically they're saying we're here to protect the crypto investor. All right, and this is all part and parcel of Ontario Securities Commission and the Canadian Securities Administrators. Okay, so very they're very cautious and also helpful and protective over you, the consumer, especially, well, you if you're in Canada and Ontario specifically. But they're very worried about, you know, your gains, your losses, and what could that mean for you. Okay, so keep that in mind. So they're going to have a trading questionnaire where they'll collect some information about your past experience, knowledge with crypto investing, your financial institution, and your risk tolerance. Okay, you can expect to see this questionnaire when accessing your Newton account over the coming days, and this must be completed to continue funding your account and trading. You only need to do this once. So there are similar things that happen on, stock exchange or stock brokerages, right? So Questrade is one of them. They'll also do a financial questionnaire, all that kind of stuff going through. To me, this is just another added layer to make it even more centralized and to have, not even centralized, but basically you don't own your own information. You're giving them this information. They hold on to it. It's now more information about you as a person. Some of you may think that's a good thing. To me, the whole point of being in crypto is to kind of be financially secure is one aspect of it for sure, but owning your own assets is the other thing. And also what comes with that is the information around it. So here, you're just going to have to give more information about yourself. Now they'll have limits, buy limits, and each province will have a certain limit. Now, and I'm going to get into this actually. This is really, and so before I go here, there's also a portfolio loss notification. So in your trading questionnaire, you're going to put, the maximum you are comfortable losing. And basically when you reach those points in your portfolio, if you do, you'll start to get notifications. All right. But let's go into the net buy limits. All right. This was what blew me away. So if you live in British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, or Quebec, none of this applies to you. All right. The other provinces, including especially Ontario, this is what's going to happen. So you're going to have a net buy limit up to 30,000 for the year. This resets every 12 months, so annually resets. And so you have a total amount that you can buy in a 12-month period is 30,000 Canadian. Okay, so right there, you may be thinking, well, that's amazing. They limit your risk, right? You can only lose 30,000 maximum. All right, so bear with me. That is one thing. I know many of you are saying, what's wrong with that? Well, here's another thing. There are 4 unrestricted cryptocurrencies that do not count towards your limit. Okay, so you're thinking, well, hold on. They've mentioned Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so right off the bat, Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash are not in the same league as Bitcoin and Ethereum at all. Okay, and Litecoin is very volatile, and you can lose everything or almost everything being in there. So right away, it doesn't even make sense what they're trying to do here by saying they're protecting you. Okay, so that's number one. And then when you buy restricted cryptos, here you go. You use some of your limit. Selling restricted cryptocurrencies will add space to your limit. So in all of these provinces listed below, Ontario being one of them, you have an annual net buy of 30,000, which applies to all things not Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcash, or Bitcoin Cash. Okay. So what's wrong with this? You're saying, right? Bitcoin and ETH are blue chips. Those are the safe ones. You get unlimited amount that you can buy in there. You have $30,000 for the altcoins or coins that are not Bitcoin, or those 4 there. What's the big problem? Here's the problem. You're being told what you can do, and you're being told in what fashion you can do that. You can only buy a certain amount. You can only buy these types of currencies to be unrestricted. If you go outside of that, there is a limit, and you can't go beyond that. Okay, like it will not allow you to trade or to purchase more than the 30,000. Okay, and so it kind of shows you what you see on the app and this and that. Okay, so everything here is about control. This is what, and you may think people like myself who are pro Bitcoin, pro ETH, pro crypto would love this, that there's unrestricted for those two, and while there may be restrictions for others, it's still 30,000, so limit your downside. Absolutely not. Okay, anyone who is fully immersed in the crypto space believes in, while decentralization is one, we understand that centralization or centralized exchanges are necessary. It's where you on-ramp, where you buy certain things. But the whole point of crypto is to maintain your own control. Meaning, I decide what I want to buy, I decide when I buy it, I decide if I want to sell it, and when I sell it. And that responsibility is mine. It's nobody else's. Okay? And so if we go back to this whole, they want to protect you and they're worried about you. Okay? So these same commissions in the Ontario Securities and the Canadian securities administrators, they're very concerned about crypto. But I want to show you some stocks that I'm not limited in buying. Okay, and we'll see where I get protected here. So number one here is Clover Health. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with stocks, there's a big rage in 2021 called SPACs. So special purpose acquisition companies. And we won't get into the weeds of it, but literally it's one company merging with another, and you don't really know what's happening behind the scenes. Okay, and by that merge, they go public. Okay. So here's Clover Health. Now, this is down 60, almost 61%, right? 60.5% just in the year. Okay, just in 1 year. So we started at, the highest was, around almost $9, and today we sit at $3.18. No limitations on buying there whatsoever. Okay, and that's a 60% drop. BBTV. Now, here's one that I actually personally own. And I actually believe in long term, so I don't care too much about the dip, and I probably got in around maybe $6 or so. So pretty high actually from where it is now. And look, in 1 year, they're down 85%. No restrictions on can I buy it, how much can I buy it, nothing. Okay, there's no restrictions. It's a free for all. I can do what I want. Face Drive, I did have this one back in the hype. Thankfully, I got out of it. And this was what, 2021 or 2020 or so, down 85%. Okay, on track. I actually made a profit on this in 2021. But you look here, down 96% in a year. 96%. Now, the point of all of this is, even with the stocks, it's not anybody's fault. It's do your own due diligence. Find what is a risk profile for you, and you live with the consequences based on the research that you did, right? This is not protection, because they do not care about protection in the stock market. There's no limit there. Okay, I can buy as much as I want. Nobody asks me. And if it goes down 96%, like on track, that's on me. Okay, there's no protection there. So all of a sudden, how is there protection here when it comes to crypto? Oh, because it's so volatile. Well, guys, I've just shown you 4 stocks that are down 60% plus in the last year. And if it went back further, it would be even more of a loss. No control, and there's regulation in the stock market, so that shouldn't be an issue either, right? So I just want to show you guys that there is a level of hypocrisy here, and it is not, they are not out there to protect your best interests in mind. There are people who have made financial gains well beyond their wildest dreams because they've been in altcoins or coins that are outside the 4, especially Litecoin and Bitcash. I mean, those are total trash. Okay, those are trash. And the fact that those are part of the exclusive category where these restrictions don't apply, I mean, right there, you've lost credibility. Just out the door. Gone. Okay? Bitcoin and ETH, yeah, huge proponent. Go crazy on those two. But there are some quality projects outside of that. And in this time period, when things are so low, that's where a lot of financial gains can be made for the long haul. So things like Avalanche, things like even Algorand, Polygon, there's just a bunch of projects in there, especially in the top 25 of that coin market cap, outside of stable coins, that are very valuable and are built on fundamentals. But the way they outlined it here is, hey, these 4 are the blue chips and everything else is garbage, because we're not going to allow that. And you might say, again, it's 30,000. That's still a hefty amount. That's a decent amount. It's the idea of control. And it's the reasons given for that control, right? To protect you. It's all false. It's all garbage, okay? It just burns me up when I see this, because it just doesn't make any sense. I've shown you the stock market. It's a mature asset class, right? Being in stocks. It's been around forever. They've got all types of regulation around it. And there are stocks that are down 96% and no one bats an eye. No one's out there to protect you for that. That's on you, as it should be. So in this space, don't get fooled by this stuff. If you're in Canada, I know it's a pain. It's not great to have to deal with this kind of stuff, especially in Ontario, I should say. But Bitcoin and ETH, you can't lose. In my opinion, it's not financial advice. You cannot lose. And we gotta work with the rules that we have, and hopefully that gets tweaked over time. But I just wanted to outline the massive hypocrisy that's out there right now, and hopefully you guys can navigate it well enough. All right. So if you see similar platforms start to implement this, it's not the platforms that are trying to do this; it's the regulation behind it. It's the governments that are trying to do this or implementing this and forcing them to do that. Especially in Ontario, if they don't comply, they can't function here, right? So they can't operate here. So it's one of those things, they're just stuck. But don't be surprised if you see this on more and more platforms across the board. All right, guys. So like the video, it really helps with the algorithm, and we'll get this message out across, because I want people to see the hypocrisy that's really out there. It really drives me nuts. And when you're immersed in this space, the more you're immersed, the more angry you get at things like this. Okay? So remember, guys, tomorrow never comes. Take action. Invest in yourself today. In this case, invest up to $30,000 in yourself today. And I'll see you guys in the next video.